All right. How are we doing, huh? So what do we make it? We're 1 minute. So it's afternoon. It's afternoon. Hey, buddy. Yeah, this is completely different than the last stream. Obviously, the last one was trade deadline. We didn't get to talk much about the game. And I suppose that within about 5 minutes, the over-under on questions about how are we going to handle Rodriguez's injury, that should be the topic of the day, I would assume. Hi, Eyes. Jackson, how you doing, bud? Good to see you. It got cold here again. I'm not happy. I got the undershirt on, the heater. I got the heater back on. It's like 45 degrees with a 20-mile-an-hour wind outside. I love my dogs, man. I love my dogs. I must love my dogs because the weather that I put up with just for you, Fluffy, just for you. And look, he couldn't care less. Could not care less, right? Does not care. Not his problem whatsoever. Not even a little. I've been outside with him all morning playing. And then he looks at me like, hey, we're going to go inside and do that thing that you got to do. Shouldn't you get to work or something? Yeah, I'm talking about you. All right, so 5-1. Jackson says it's already starting to feel like summer down there. I bet. Yeah, you're just glad I didn't get traded to Vegas and get put on LTIR. You know, the same thing happened to us in the President's Trophy season. That's when Ekblad got hurt. It was right after we after we got rid of Vetrano and got Sherratt. Then before Sherratt could take the ice, that's when Ekblad got hurt. Now, basically, where we're at right now is Ekblad might miss a couple days, kind of what I said last night. We don't know anything about Rodriguez right now. I just checked again before I came on. All Marie said was that he'd get looked at tomorrow. I didn't see if he said something later on because I wasn't allowed to watch anything today. I was standing on my laptop because somebody was happy that it was cold again. So I've been playing with the dog all morning. Vladdy, who's your daddy? Yeah, I have a no trade clause. Yeah. Although this is year 8. So isn't it 8 years? 8 years is the max deal, right? So I kind of need a contract for next year. This is year 8 for me. So I'm expecting a phone call from Bill any day now. Any day now, I should be getting, I mean, you know, it's $500 a month for the what do they call that? Advisor's fee. Yeah, advisor's fee, right? I said, yeah, he said Ekblad wasn't long term, so you know what that means. He'll never play again. Have I saved money by going to the LTIR yet? No, whenever I go to LTIR, well, it used to cost me money, but then I hired Kyle for free. And so when I go on LTIR, Kyle just has to do my job, and then it doesn't cost me money. It's a beautiful thing, you know. It's a fair trade, right? He's kind of, you know, I was going to say something that probably I shouldn't have said. Kyle works for free in lieu of never having to worry about getting his own place and his own car and having any of those adult responsibilities. So it's a fair trade. It's a fair trade, right? Yeah, it kind of, Boulevard, right? Yeah, you know, when I knew he had a camera presence was in the very first Crazy Bill. It was I mean, it was the very first one. And everybody loved his line when he holds up the slide projector and he's like, "You're kidding me, right?" And then that was everybody's favorite part. It took me a while to convince him though to be. I had to trick him to be on camera. We'll put it that way. Eyes. What Nerful said, if he's here or not, I don't know. He might show up. Nerful said that Paul said that they would just move Tarasenko down to the third line and go back to Cousins on the second line. So I find it ironic that it appears as though we are going to pay a karmic price, that Rodriguez might pay the karmic price of Zito not listening to us and just keeping Cousins on the second line. Like, how many guys have to die, Zito, before you realize? And that line goes hard with Cousins on it. I'm going to be straight with you. I know Verhaeghe's a much better player. I'm not making that suggestion. But for whatever reason, when Cousins is on that line, Bennett and Kachuk are wild maniacs. And then when Verhaeghe gets on that line, they kind of, not as wild. You know what I mean? They're just kind of there. John says, do I expect a Panther to sign over the next week, or will we wait till the postseason? I'm sure that the contract is in front of Reinhart. I mean, give or take. I would assume that Reinhart might be next, but there may be an element there to where they want Montour to sign first, because then Forsling or then Reinhart gets everything that's left. I mean, it's a giant Jenga pile. If any contract was going to be immediately signed after Forsling's, it would have been Montour, because he's probably got the same kind of deal, just not as long. So we'll check that out. Trey says, I have zero sympathy for Uyghur, right? Praga says, Cousins and Chucky were childhood buds. I did not realize that. And Mike is correct. Bottom line is we have options. Yeah, we've got so many options. It's coming out of our booty hole. Okay. In no particular order, but you could put Cousins back at the second line and put Tarasenko with Lundell. You could put Samoskevich there. You could try Okposo there. And that's the thing, is like, people say, well, you don't know if Okposo can skate with those guys. Well, give him a shot. Throw him out there. See if that happens. A couple people seem to think he can't play center, but there's so many different ways to work things that, and Mike says, enough about the contracts. Let's talk about the game. Right? What's up with Huberdeau? What is going on? And I mean this in all due respect, with all genuine humanity towards Huberdeau. Please, Calgary, and I know this is easy for me to say, but do the right thing, man. Move that man to another team. Yeah, Mike, I mean, he's in a bad place. Like, that's not normal. I said this in the recap last night. That's like not like normal hockey, angry type of stuff. That's like he's hurting. You could see it in his eyes, man. That was hard to watch with him and Verhaeghe out there. And Verhaeghe's just laughing at him. Because what are you supposed to do, right? I wonder if Verhaeghe, I would love to know what was said between those two, because it kind of seemed like Huberdeau was mouthing off and then Verhaeghe was just laughing at him like, what? Like, what? Why are you so mad? And it just, I felt bad for him. And then, of course, the thing, the scrum in the net when Huberdeau was going for the puck. I took a still shot of what happened and I put it on my Twitter. But in fact, let me bring that up. I'll share that with you, because I don't know if everybody noticed that this is what happened. Let me find this here. Hold on a second. Yeah. So, all right, let me share that. Let me share that. Hold on a second. Share screen. Where are we? Okay, here. Yeah. Okay. You guys see this glove? There's Huberdeau. That glove that's completely covering his face, that's Chucky. This is Chucky. This is Chucky's mouth guard right there. And if that is not a picture is worth 10 gazillion words, I don't know what is. That is Chucky's glove, completely face washing Huberdeau while he's on his knees surrounded by Panthers, and there's Chucky with his mouthpiece. That is just something, man. That is just something else. I mean, that just says so many things. Excuse me. Yeah, Praga says Hubie's just messed up in the head. James says, no, Huberdeau chose to sign with Calgary. No, it was not a Kachuk trade. Chucky, I believe it was I know Huberdeau signed later. Huberdeau signed later. Mike says Chucky was trying to pull off Hubie and Chucky was trying to pull Hubie off of Bennett, and Hubie shot the puck after the whistle was Stolarz down. Right? Yeah, no, he was jabbing at the puck. I mean, I get it, but it was long after the whistle, and Bubba says the same thing. What the hell is up with Huberdeau, right? Jackson, that's exactly it, man. That picture is the perfect representation of how things have gone for each player since the trade. Like, what did Huberdeau do to Kachuk in a previous life? I mean, you just think about it in Huberdeau's world. One day he's at a party with his friends. He's half of the face of the franchise. And from Huberdeau's perspective, some schmuck in Calgary says, I want to leave and I want to go to Florida. And like a couple days later, he's gone. I mean, that's just got to ruin a guy, man. And he's just not bounced back. Boulevard says, so Hubie is the Mac Jones of the NHL. Yeah. Mike says, what did Huberdeau do to the universe is the question. I butchered that. Mike said, what did Hubie do to the universe is the question. That's true. That's true, man. But, and then Tarasenko gets 2, right? And so we were just talking on the stream about how we were on hat trick watch for Tarasenko, and then Barkov gets what should have been the second. Is there a word? I have a question for the chat. Is there a measurement that is small enough that it's representative of how close that puck was, how far offsides it was? I don't even think a millimeter is a small enough measurement to say the puck was a millimeter offsides. I've never seen one that close get called offsides. It was offsides, but I mean by what? The thickness of a sheet of paper, maybe, right? Mike says the puck was on the line, still touched it. It was a mercy call by the rest. The line is not, they paint the blue on there, but you can see if you just look at the line, just little chunks of white that get taken out, and the white, and you know what I mean? I mean, that could have been the white that was showing, but it wasn't. If it was a playoff game, we'd be bitching and complaining, right? Braga says maybe Barkov made Hubie a star, and Reinhart ought to be thinking about that. No, there's no doubt. There's no doubt Barkov helps, right? Braga says Swaggy cut Huberdeau and Huberdeau was bleeding. Was when Verhaeghe went, because they kind of both cross-checked each other at the same time. I didn't see that part, Praga. Jeez. That poor dude. So Tarasenko out there laying hits yesterday, right? I don't think there's no concern about that. And if you guys remember, I cracked a joke about Tarasenko first time when we first were streaming. I cracked a joke that don't put him at F3. Now, for those of you who don't understand F3 is the forward that is supposed to give defensive support and go back across out of the zone if the defenseman comes into the zone and pinches. That's F3. So I was making the joke, don't make Tarasenko F3 because he has a reputation about not playing defense. And I saw it multiple times that son of a bitch was F3 yesterday. And a couple times when Montour and Mikkola pinched, I saw Tarasenko go right out of the zone and take care of his defensive responsibilities. So we're in good shape that way, man. He fits. It's basically having like Verhaeghe again. It's like having almost another Verhaeghe in terms of the puck is on his stick, and before you realize the puck is on his stick, it's shot. He's shooting it. And if he's not shooting it immediately, he's going to slide over and find a lane and shoot it. It's beautiful. All right, let me take a sip and got a couple comments here. Mike says, imagine how pissed off you are if you're a Flames player sitting on the bench and your coach challenges a call with less than 5 to go in a 4-1 game. I'm a Flame and I want to get on that bus ASAP. Yeah, it was, hey, they called it back though, right? Yeah, Bubba, yeah, laying hits on his own teammates. Ekblad will be okay. Ekblad will be okay. It's funny though, because when you watch the hit, I'm only giving Ekblad a little bit of grief here, but when you watch the hit, they hit basically at even. It should have just been an even thing, but Vladimir is obviously so much stronger that Vladimir just like absorbs Ekblad, and Ekblad just like goes down into a mess. And Vladimir didn't even fall, and he just kind of skates off like, what hit me? I didn't even see nothing. John says Panthers culture jaws. It only took 2 games. Tarasenko blends right in. Bill says if Reinhart wants too much money, sign Tarasenko. We could sign Tarasenko either way. Tarasenko's contract, he signed a 1-year deal in Ottawa, 1-year deal in Ottawa for $5 million. Now you could do 1 of 3. You could do any number of things. If you wanted to completely move on from Montour, you could use that money to sign Tarasenko because of what Forsling got. Montour's not getting. I mean, are you gonna give Montour an extra $250,000 just to make him happy? So Montour is really the question there. How much is he going to take? But Tarasenko might take $3.5-4 million to stay. I mean, you hear him; he loves it here. His wife and kids, everybody's happy. And if he took 5 from Ottawa, he'll take 3.5 or 4 from us. We could scrounge that up, right? We could scrounge that up somehow. Either Spencer Knight, Brandon Montour. Would you want to move on from Rodriguez? If you had the choice, if you could get Tarasenko for 3.5 or 4, but you had to move Rodriguez, there's that part too. Yeah, Stolarz too. Yeah, Bubba says Tarasenko is Carter Verhaeghe. Like, how does nobody see that Tarasenko is the exact same player as Verhaeghe? I think he's a little bit bigger, but it's we got lucky there. Mike says Swaggy got get Hubie a widow cut. Oh, oh man. Yeah, John, that Tarasenko assist on Barkov's goal was wild. He blindly shoots the puck off the boards, and Reinhart was there, and that led to Barkov as it was designed. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to take away the Barkov goal, because it was such a beautiful thing. Yes, Chicken Doodles. We need to sign Stolarz. Yes, we do. Braga says Forsling did a very team-friendly deal. Yes. James, the only thing about Ekblad over Erod is Ekblad has an opportunity. He has a no-move code, so Ekblad could say no. But either way, Bolvar will take 6 just to take advantage of no state income tax. Well, he took 5 in Ottawa, so he wouldn't go. I think you're being sarcastic. I get the joke, but I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's true. Colby says the Flames were 76% on the deserve to win meter. We gave it so many quality chances in the first. Yeah, no, the first look, Stolarz made some saves. Let's not go without mentioning Stolarz. I mean, look at this. Let me get this right. Let me see. I want to see what the two of them, between Stolarz and Bob, I want to see what we got here. So, yeah, that's what I thought. So, I mean, between the two of them, between the two of them, Bubba Bubba has a 2.29 goals against and a 918 save percentage, and he's not even the best goalie on the team because Stolars has 2.02 and a 925. That's great. That's like Olmark and Swayman type stuff from last year, right? Bubba, you talking bad about you, Bubba? Right? We haven't heard anything yet, JC. The only thing we heard on Erod was that they're going to look at him today. So that's all we know right now, right? So hopefully, if it's just a hairline thing, maybe 4 to 6 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks, you can get away with 4 to 6 weeks, and he might be ready for the first round of the playoffs. So Bubba says trade Stolars for Linus Olmark. No, we don't want all that. He's got a $5 million contract, right? Hey, Ollie, he says, how are we doing this morning? We're cold. Who would fit best with Okposo? Well, I think Okposo was fixing to go on the bottom pair. James says our fifth line is Gadjevich, Lorentz, and Okposo. That's actually pretty accurate. With Erod out now, Okposo is probably going to end up on the ice. I would assume. We just don't know exactly how long that's going to be. Nerful seems to feel that Maurice alluded to just putting Cousins back on that second line, and then Verhaeghe back up top, and Tarasenko with Lundell. So that would put Okposo on the fourth line, right? Yeah, Praga says Okposo third or fourth. You just got to make sure if Okposo can keep up with those guys. If Okposo can keep up with those guys speed-wise, then yes. Hey, Bubba. Mike seems to think Okposo goes with Luostarinen and Lundell. That could happen also. It's just a shame it had to happen that way. But, in reality, you can only fit so many guys in the top 9. So with all due respect to Rodriguez, if Okposo can produce on that line, then we'll be in good shape. Hey, Ray, how you doing, bud? Rockin' Ray says, too bad Penguins will make the playoffs. Okposo was a Penguins killer. And a Trocheck tripper, apparently, right? Mike says, Lusty, Lundy, Okposo, so Gadjevich, Stenlin, and Longberg. What? So no Cousins? No Cousins? So you're taking, I don't disagree with you, but you're taking Gadjevich, on and Cousins off. Either way, keep them all fresh. Vincent, do I think Erod is hurt badly? I hope not. Somebody said last night in the stream that somebody at the arena said they heard a crack when the puck hit him. So there's that, right? The fact that it took him, he was in some serious pain. And where he got hit, there's generally speaking nothing but bone there. You know what I mean? So we'll find out. The assumption, I would assume that when Maurice is saying they got to look at him today, he was probably too swollen for a decent X-ray and MRI last night. So at whatever point today that information comes out, I doubt he'll be out for the year. But if he hairline fractured it, you could be looking at 4 to 6 weeks. It could be something where he's not completely ready to the second round of the playoffs. So, we may have to go without him for a while. If there's no structural damage, that's probably still a 2-week bone bruise, even if there's nothing broken, right? Like, I know what I'm talking about. I'm just guessing, but usually, usually I guess pretty accurate. Mike says, heard a crack in an arena with tens of thousands of people. Yeah, I'm going to hop into my spaceship real quick and hell tomorrow. Hey, I'm just reporting the news. I'm just reporting the news, Mike. You know what I mean? You figure whoever said that, if it comes back that something was broken, then that person will be like, see, I told you I heard it crack. You know? So, uh, hey, Sabrina. Somebody had said something here. Racist Flyers lose 7-0. Philly, not the first team to learn a Sunshine State sweep is not easy. It used to be backwards. They used to always play Tampa first and then come play us. And now we get them first. Praga, yeah, no, I like Rodriguez as well, for sure. Mike says that's not news. That's one schmuck saying something. I don't know who said it. All right. I'm just reporting what I heard, you know. Vincent, that's probably you. That's probably you, Vincent, right? What's going on, Bubba? I'm seeing a bunch of emojis, but it's not coming through as emojis here on StreamYard. It doesn't. I just got a little thing that says cool, 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 cool. But I get and then Hollander's using the happy, happy, happy. I don't see the emojis. I don't see them on StreamYard. I had to go to hold on. Let me go to the YouTube chat. Because on StreamYard, the emojis don't show up. Give me a second. Let me come over here. Let me see what you guys are doing. Hey, how come I didn't get a commercial? All right, now. Oh, okay, I see. Those are the fluffy emojis. Yeah, I don't get to see them on StreamYard. I see. I got to do some new ones. I'm gonna make myself. I'll make myself nauseous doing new ones. I'll tell you that. It is not easy. It is time consuming. Mike says, do I think Uyghur still thinks Calgary is a better hockey team? I don't feel bad for Uyghur. I feel bad for Huberto. I don't know why that is, too, because, Uyghurs had the better. Well, I guess Uyghurs had a better time of it. That's why. I don't think I'll ever not feel bad for Huberto, man. I mean, the dude his family would always come down here, and then he gets drafted, and he's never thinking he's going to move on. And then Calgary, God, jeez, brutal. Let's see. Colby says, I think Tortorella having an Alice burst caused you to have a dream. I saw the email, Bob, but I didn't read it just yet. And then did I see Tortorella was thrown out of the game and refused to leave? I had not seen it. I did not see that. I got a text late from Nick, said Tortorella lost his mind again, but I have not been able to get too much this morning because Fluffy's been very, very needy this morning. Every time I try to do anything, he's just whining and crying at me. So that I got a long list of things I got to take care of when I sit down later this afternoon. And yeah, I got to help, as John reminds me, I got to help Kyle pack and all of that. While Kyle is away, am I going solo or there'll be a co-host possible like Nick from Twisted Wrister? I'm working on having some help during the intermissions. Because I've tried to do it like when Nick and I did it before for the Devils game when Kyle was doing the football game. Our feeds, it's impossible to get our feeds to line up. So like he'd see a goal and I'm sitting there and I got to wait 20 seconds to see a goal. So for during the game, it'd just be me, but I am working on some help for the intermissions so that it's not just a blank screen while I go do the recap and feed the dogs and take a nap. You guys think I'm kidding. There's some nights I get so nauseous, so tired that I'll go and I'll take a 7-minute snooze during the intermission, come back. And I don't even need a an alarm clock for that. I'll 5 minutes and get up. Mike says that I hear Randy sort of taking a shot at Uyghur during the broadcast. He said something to the effect of Uyghur been forced to make several big defensive plays. Uyghur's been forced to make several big defensive plays in the game so far, only made a couple. Gotcha. I did not hear that because we have the sound not too loud because of the stream. So a lot of times I don't hear it. Yeah. Colby says, I wish the broadcasters had more leeway to bash the players. Dave Michigan and Phil Esposito always do. Esposito, he reminds me a little bit of like Harry Carey and Jim Mandich. Just the way that they'll just, and a little bit of Denny Potvin in there too, right? Just like he don't care. He don't give a F about what he's saying. He says some crazy things a few times I've heard him. I love it. I don't know how I'd like it every single night as my team, but on occasion listening to Esposito, he's unintentionally hysterical, right? Hey Vlad, how you doing? John says Jaws agreed on your comment about teams playing in Florida. What was worse was playing at Tampa and at Florida on consecutive days. Yeah, a lot of times that would happen, but now they get us first. All right, JC, just email me. Hey, well, I've got your email, but email me to remind me, JC. Braga says Phil might have had a few head injuries. Oh, geez, Cayman. Hubie was a -3 and Weeks was a -4 last year, last night, -3 and -4. Jeez. Bowler says all this talk about taking naps made me reminded us up 9% of the first period senior year and still got an A, right? Mike, I don't know how Esposito is still actually employed. He's like 200 years old. Yeah, he's 82. I mean, for those of us who are older, I think, and I don't know how old you are, Mike, but the older you get, the more that you understand what the old guys are saying, because our brains kind of work the same way. When you're younger, if you've got 3 points to make, you boom, 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 and you make them, right? And as the older you get, sometimes it'd take about 20 minutes to make those 3 points. So we recognize that when we hear it, it's like, no, I understood what he said. The other people, it ain't making any sense. But for us old guys, it's like, yeah, no, I see where he's going. Hey, Bubba. Hey, nobody's better than Goldie. Bubba, come on now. Right? Braga says they let him out of the hockey nursing home for games. Jeez. So I guess everybody agrees that if Ekblad has to miss a couple of games, you just plot Mahura on that bottom pair. Like I said last night, I would like to see Mahura get into a couple of games anyway. I mean, he hasn't played in a while, right? And I'd kind of like for him to get a little bit of ice time before, it's game 6, round 2. And, well, here you go, Josh. We need you. Get out there. I know you haven't played for 3 months. James says, put Born Foot in. I mean, you say LOL, but yeah, Eyes is saying the same thing. I don't know how healthy he is. I'm not sure he hasn't played this year. They put him on IR, so he's not on LTIR. As far as I know, he's only on IR. So I don't know that he's ready. I think that's kind of a project thing. I think that's actually the word Zito used was project. Something similar to that. So I don't think we'll see him right now. And yeah, Belinskas is in the minors, but I'm sure that they're going to bring him up, right? So Mahura, Belinskas will be our extras on defense. I don't know if there's one more you could bring up, right? I don't know if they're going to bring up a Kierstead or a Carlson to be like 90 because, the roster expands. And then we'll see. They're gonna bring up somebody if Rodriguez is out. And I have a suspicion. We already know Sam Miskevich is going to be, well, we don't know. We assume Sam Miskevich should be on the playoff roster. but I don't know if that'd be the first guy that he'd bring up because he's not going to get playing time most likely. We've got a lot of depth. And I know Dolpe might be on the roster too. James says, Bournefoot is not waivers exempt. Can you play players if you claim them off waivers after the deadline? He's not healthy, James. He's not healthy. He has an undisclosed injury as far as I heard. So no, if they waived him, he'd be, we'd be taking the chance of him getting claimed. But the roster expands, so we should be good to go there. I think he's just going to kind of sit there for now. Joshua, yeah, Carlson plays really well in Charlotte, but he doesn't ever get a chance here. Praga says Mahura has been steady, but wouldn't be surprised if he's gone next year, even though he's on a 2-year deal. I wouldn't be surprised either. It's not been a good year for him. He hasn't played a whole lot, and when he has played, he's been inconsistent. He might want to say he's not, he needs to play more to get into a groove. I can accept that, but it's kind of like Spencer Knight. It's kind of like there's not a whole lot of room right now. Mike says, move OEL up to the top pair, keep Mikolo and Monta, put Kulikov with Mahura or Belinskas. Exactly. Trey says, Carlson is getting his number retired in Charlotte. Right. Yeah, Mike says Carlson's not playing unless Mahura and Belinskas are injured and unavailable. And probably Kiersted, too. Add Kiersted into that list. For whatever reason, it is what it is. Some players just end up career AHL guys, right? Praga says, I'm a big Carlson fan. He's a scorer, but he started some games last year and the opposing forwards just skated right around him. Gotcha. Ollie says, Josh Mahura is great offensively, but I've seen some mistakes he made defensively, while Belinskas is more of a stay-at-home defender who does his role well enough. I'm a defender myself. Yeah, I agree. That's a good analysis, Ollie. I think Mahura, remember, Mahura was with Gudas last year. So when Mahura would go do his offensive thing, Gudas was back, right? This year, when Mahura Belinskas was out there, it was okay. But any other time Mahura's been out there, he's a little bit scatterbrained, kind of like what Ollie is saying. Just a little bit. He needs to, but he's young. He's young defenseman too. So James says, if I remember, every time Mahura had the puck at the blue line, he always dumps it in and never carries it in. Yeah, he's not, which makes you wonder why he would get beat. You know what I mean? He was much better last year. We'll put it that way. And look, that happens, right? What we got, man, I hate Trey and man, I love Trey. What did Trey say? Good morning, Christopher. Where did Trey's comment go? Here we go. Oh, yeah, Carlson is getting his number retired. I didn't mean to show that. All right, let's scroll back down to the bottom here. Yeah, Mahura is the same size as Carlson. Yeah, Carlson and Mahura are the same size, right? Ban Bob. I can't ban Bob. Bob. Joshua is a Carlson fan, says he's good on both offense and defense. He can score and play goalie with his stick versus Carolina. That's true. Yeah, exactly, Praga. He was playing with Gudas last year. Hey, Jeff, Automatics. Good to see you, buddy. He says, trade Ekblad. He's made me sugar glass. Fart sound with me. Ekblad's the one that's not hurt, though, right? Ekblad, Maurice said he'd only be a couple of days. Let me see. Let's look up. How's Josh Mahura doing? Since we are discussing Josh Mahura, let's see what he's doing down there. Let me see. No, wait, not Mahura. What, Carlson, right? Or wait, what did they ask? Yeah, he's not in the AHL. Yeah, you got me confused. He's not in the AHL. Got me confused, right? John says there was a stat that Bob was either trying to tie or surpass in conservative games or maybe consecutive games with fewer than 2 goals allowed for goalies over 35. Oh, geez. You're talking about Carlson. Okay, that's kind of what I thought, but we both took it as Mahura. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's why he's on the team. He's Swedish. I didn't realize Carlson was Swedish. All right, let's see. Where is he now? Right now, Carlson is all right. So for all the Carlson haters, Carlson is -1 at the NHL level. In the AHL level, in 61 games, he has 20 goals, 34 assists for 54 points, and he's a plus 24. I'm not saying I'm just saying in terms of what he's doing in Charlotte, he's got 20 goals, 34 assists, and he's a plus 24. No, that's not. Oh, yeah, you're right. God damn it. You're right. So he's a minus. Well, what the hell's going on? How did he go from plus 24 to -1? Yeah, you're right. I don't know why that wasn't. The page hadn't loaded all the way. That stat wasn't even there. So you're right. Well, last year he was good. This year, that's not so good because he's got 15 goals and 24 assists, 39 points, and is -1. So that's not good. That's not good. Yeah, that's last year's. Yeah. Bring him up, replace that. That's still better than that guy. Who was the guy that we saw get traded during the trade deadline? It was a -41 last year in the NHL. Yeah, Trey says it's all Spencer's fault. Yeah, that's the thing about the AHL, right? Like when you look at their stats, it's like, well, how do you know? Right? Like the Devils just got the other goalie. Who'd they get? Kako, right? All of the Devils goalies are bad. All of their numbers are terrible. So it's like, is it the defense or do all the goalies suck? It's kind of like the AHL. It's like you don't know. It's like you can look at the goalies number and you don't really know who's the problem, right? Joshua says, yeah, that's what's happening to Spencer Knight. Was it Jake Galvin? Well, where did Kyle tell me? No, what did Kyle? I thought Kyle had told me something else. Who got Kaponen? Wait a minute. Kyle got me confused now, which is easy to do, by the way. This is not tough to do, as you guys have seen. Not Capo, yeah, Kakinen, yeah. Yeah, the Devils. Right? Why did Kyle tell me he got traded there? He's like, yeah. Wait a minute. Yeah, no, he's right. Kyle was right. The Sharks traded Kakinen to the Devils. So that's what I was talking about. Okay, so then good. I'm not going crazy. Kyle was right. The Sharks at the end traded Kakinen to the Devils. Bubba, I don't believe that. Yeah, okay. You would have had me. You had me halfway. You had me halfway. Let's see. What did Otto have to say? I'd love to see our return if we traded Ekblad and Knight. I'm not married to either. Ekblad is damaged goods, and Knight was a wasted first-round pick. Flame me all you want. Well, we're not going to get a lot for him with that attitude, Jeff. In fact, trade them to the Flames for Brady. You mean to the Senators? Is there a Brady on the Flames? Or am I getting confused again, right? John says, is there truth to the rumor that when Forsling's baby was being born, Zito was the delivery room to GM and Godfather of the Year, right? Oh, Bubba. Nobody chants tonight anymore at the games during the anthem. Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, Jeff says, I'm not fully awake. It's the time change. You're not kidding about that. Oh, man. I hate the time change. Either way. But in terms of Knight and Ekblad, I mean, yeah, you could do it. Well, I mean, we've talked a lot about moving on from Knight in the summer. But with Ekblad, and with his no move clause, I just don't know. I just don't know that they're going to be able to, even if they wanted to, that they'd be able to do it. You know what I mean? Yeah, no more time changes. That's for sure. Right. Hey, Bex. Do I think Eyes wants to know if I think the NHL will fix the LTIR loophole? Braga, yeah, no, Jake Allen went to New Jersey. Yeah, he did. Right. I think it was one of the after the late, like last minute trades for the Devils. No, I don't think they're going to fix that loophole. I mean, there's so many different ways you could do it, but there's arguments for and against it all, right? You know, I mean, you could say you put a guy on LTIR, you have to set a date. If he's not on LTIR by January 1st, he can't come back, right? But the problem is like anything else in life. There's people that will abuse a rule, and then many times the only way to make sure the person cannot abuse the rule is to ruin it for everybody. Because there are legitimate times when teams need to put guys on LTIR, like with what happened with us with Ekblad in the President's Trophy season. So I don't know what you do there, man. Yeah, exactly. Trey has it right. I'm okay with the LTIR loophole. I'm just not okay with faking injuries in order to use it. Exactly. Yeah, someone said on Twitter, they'll fix it when the Canadian team takes advantage of it because Gary hates Canada. Oh, Jesus, Trey. Oh, my God, Trey. Oh, my God. Breathe, Jaws. Hey, some goner. All right. Jesus, Trey. That's you did that 10 minutes too early because that's the way we should have just ended the stream. Yeah, but banned, right? Progress says, isn't Duke still in LTIR? Oh, no, he's in Anaheim, right? Jeff. Oh, my God. People are in a mood this morning. We still have no news about Rodriguez. We probably won't hear anything till tomorrow, knowing those bastards, right? Yeah, Josh, they put the mask on LTIR. That's the thing. Let me see. Let me go over here. I keep hoping that we're going to get news about Rodriguez while we're live, but may not. No, we ain't hearing anything. I don't think so. It makes it so difficult finding this stuff for me because none of the media guys will follow me because they all hate me. Let's see here. What was that? Hey, Eyes. Thank you, Eyes. Thank you, buddy. Hey, yeah, exactly. Trey's comment deserves a super chat. That's rich, man. I noticed Trey wouldn't do that with Kyle around though, right? You wouldn't do that to poor Kyle, right? I'll Venmo you what's left after YouTube takes their cut. um John says, is it possible that we can have a problem with individual players scoring with the depth scoring we have, i.e. Verhage has no goals in 10 games? Um, I mean, I think we got so many different guys. Like when it seems to me, for the most part, generally speaking, that when our snipers go a little bit cold, you'll get a Lombard goal, or you'll get an Ekblad goal, or Montour, something like that. We do most of the time tend to find ways to make up for those guys. Joshua Rodriguez and Ekblad update will be tomorrow. I see. I thought he said today, but either way, okay. So great. Let's all go to DraftKings and place our bets on how long he's out, right? What did Bubba say? Mike says, not gonna lie, Duke and Stamkos hugging after a goal made me barf. And Karen's cooking something in the kitchen that I don't like. It's not for me. She likes different seasonings than I do, so she'll cook when I'm not around. Ah, yeah, don't smell good at all. She likes to cook vegetables and stuff. Jeff says, can't wait to see the Barkov Reinhardt Cousins line. No Duclair in overtime. No, we're good. Right? All right, let me scroll down to the bottom here. Trey, yeah, YouTube takes a cut. Yeah, you don't want to know. Trust me, YouTube takes a cut of everything, man. They love it. That's why they lowered the threshold. You know, to get ad revenue, you got to have 1,000 subscribers, but to allow super chats, you only need the 500. Because YouTube gets a cut. Ellie is, oh boy, my arm's sore. Ellie is out there with mommy. This guy is tired from playing all day, all morning. There was another dog out there, so he was doing his best running that he can do. You're awfully quiet. You still breathing over there? Okay, he's moving. I saw him twitch. You got to make sure with these older dogs, you know. I mean, they sleep pretty soundly. Ellie, you know, every once in a while I walk up to Ellie and I gotta really make sure she's still breathing. Same thing happened to my Akito as he got older. He lived to be 15 and a half years old. In the last year and a half, you go up there, you know, he's sleeping, and the breathing is so shallow that you can't even see them moving, and you kind of end up having to wake them up just to make sure that they're still kicking. Yeah, he's knocked out. He hasn't moved the whole hour we've been here. Hey, Dana. Dana says, I'm going to start putting everybody in timeout that says Cousins shouldn't be on the team, even though he's disliked and he's a turtle, man. He definitely belongs on this team. It's just crazy to hear. I love you, Dana. You're not wrong. She's not wrong, by the way. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm going to save this. I'm not going to make the comment now, but I already have the comment locked and loaded should Rodriguez be out for long term. But I won't say it now in hopes that the juju is that he's not out long term. Bubba. Mike says the torch clip showed him with like a bandage and a splint covering his right hand and keeping his thumb straight. Anyone knowing what happened there? I got to check all that out when we're done here. Maybe I'll have to do something with that, right? What I need, see, I can do the Bill Zito stuff. What I need is a Bill Zito calls Tortorella phone call. That's what I need. How could I? Oh, I think I know how I could pull that off, right? John says, Fluffy looks so comfortable, you can draw chalk around him like a crime scene, right? Oh, boy, here we go. Jeff's going at it. Jeff says, Cousins are just as useless on the ice as they are in real life, just ancillary. Hey, Jeff, how'd that date go, man? I see you say something about dating on Twitter. What's up with that? What's up with that? Inquiring minds want to know. Right? Somebody asked me something. Hey, Rosado. McGoldman says, I'd still rather have Samoskevich than Cousins. Patience. Samoskevich is going to be on the team next year. He better be. He needs to be. He should be. I don't know if we're going to fit him. I keep wanting to sign everybody, right? We'll sign Tarasenko to block Samoskevich. Which, by the way, I'd love to see Tarasenko just sign a deal with us. We could find a way to afford him. Exactly. Mike says, Cousins scored an overtime game-winning goal to send the Panthers to the Eastern Conference Finals. No Panther fan has any right to disrespect this man. Absolutely no right. Right, exactly, right? I mean, Billy Lindsay is the goal, right? I mean, and I'm not saying Cousins' goal was as skillful, but the difference in appreciation is wild. You know, Cousins is just one of those guys who just, you gotta love him, but nobody does. Right? McGrome says, would Maurice ever play a young guy? Simo might never play on this team with him as the coach. That is very true. That is a concern, although I can't really blame him too, right? Because we're in absolute win now mode. And it's tough. See, in other teams, you could develop guys in their fourth line a little bit, but with the physical style that Maurice plays, you can't even just like say, all right, let Samoskevich go in the fourth line and get 8 minutes a night and learn the game, because it don't fit the system. I kind of thought I would have liked to see Mackey get some more opportunity on third line this year. I thought he played well enough to deserve a little bit more time on ice, but who do you take off, right? You have to rearrange everything. You know, I suppose when you had Cousins on the second, you could have put things back together again a different way, but that's a good question. I don't know if Maurice is going to be willing to do that. At some point, Samoskevich is going to have to make it impossible to take him off the ice. I think that's the thing. All right, let me catch up on the chat here a little bit. Rosado says, I'm getting that ticket whether I like it or not. Which ticket is that? Now, James likes Sordiff more than Samoskevich. I like Sordiff game too. I do. Mike says, Cousins overtime game-winning goal, put the Billy Lindsay goal to shame. Bigger stakes, higher round. I don't know about to shame. That's a bit. Billy might disagree a little bit. To shame that's a little bit harsh, man. I mean, I get sticking up for Cousins, but you know. The contest for tomorrow. Yeah. I'm what? Oh, I see. Rosado says I'm getting the ticket to the game, whether you like it or not, the contest tomorrow. Okay. I gotcha. Yeah. Bubba says we need a Samoskevich, Lorenz, Sordef line. Right. Yeah. So tomorrow, probably at noon, I'm going to make a community post about this. But tomorrow at noon, it will only be on YouTube. So for those of you who catch us on Facebook or catch us on Twitter, the contest will only be on YouTube. It's going to be a quick stream. I'll go live about noon. And there is a ticket that Tom has to go to the game that Kyle will be at next Saturday to the Lightning Panthers game. He has an extra ticket, so we're going to give it away. So show up quick, because it's going to be a quick stream, because I got to get Kyle to the airport. So it's not going to be a regular Panther stream. It's just going to be boom. I want to get that situated. So whoever wins the ticket. Rosado says, can I move it to 12:10? Just for Rosado, because I guess you'll be at school, I'll move it to 12:10. The contest is going to be, it is something that I'm going to share my screen and show you. and whoever can figure out the question based on the picture first will get the ticket. And it might take 20 seconds. It might take some of you a few minutes to figure out what you're looking for in the picture. But it's a picture. It involves a channel. It's a screenshot from something, and there'll be a question related to it. And you do not have to know the history of this channel to know the answer to the question. It's directly related to the picture. And then whoever can figure it out the quickest, whichever answer I see in the chat first, they're the ones that is going to get the tickets. Right. Yeah, and if you can't, I says you can't go, so if you win, you give it to Rosado. Bubba needs it 12:11. 12:10. I'm going to start it at 12:10, and then, 5 minutes. You guys got about 5 minutes to get in. John says it's such an important year going forward for this team. How successful we become in the playoffs will make it, if not already, players signing and players wanting to sign with us. Yeah. Not that there's any more room, right? I mean, I think we're full up unless guys just going to start coming here for free, right? Great White wants to know if I would trade Barkov for Stamkos. I wouldn't trade I mean, if you want to give me Barkov for Stamkos, Kucherov, Point, and Sergachev with all the salaries retained. That's my deal. And I'm not even sure I want to do that either. But I might. I might, but I don't really want to do that. But that's a no. I think that's a no. Yeah, Barkov is just coming into his own now to what Stamkos was, right? Bubba says, I think Huberdeau would come for free. It's not football, unfortunately. They can't just they could buy him out, I guess. Calgary needs to set him free. We need to start a movement with a hashtag set Hubie free. It's not right, man. I feel bad for the dude. I mean, he's flat out like angry. It was just so hard to see him, man. And yeah, I says Huberdeau probably holds a grudge towards Cito. That's true. John wants to know how we compare this team to the previous one 2 years at this time. So the President's Trophy team. This team would sweep the President's Trophy team. This team would sweep the President's Trophy. Just the goaltending and defense alone. President's Trophy team was fun, but this team is a monster. Hey, thank you, Gian McCall. Thank you. Much appreciated. He gives me 5. He says, thank you for all you do, Jaws, for the channel. Cheers to you and from the fam. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Much appreciated. Thank you. Bubba says, free Uyghur. No, we don't need to pair him with Ekblad again. Unless they're going to be the bottom pair. That's about it, right? Yeah, this team is a pain in the ass, Rosado. It is. It is. You can see it when we're playing against the other teams. We say it on the stream. It's like we've got to be such a massive pain in the ass to play against, James says, you know what? I'm with Trey. This team stinks. What do we got? Oh, we're over an hour. Okay, good. We'll get ready to close this up here in just a few minutes. Next 6 games, let me look at it. Let's see. Bubba, no, you're correct. There. Let's see. What is our schedule? Here we go. All right. So we have the Stars Tuesday. Oh, geez. So we got the Stars on Tuesday at 8. We got the Hurricanes Thursday at 7. And we got the Lightning Saturday at 6. That's the game Kyle will be at. Then the last game that Kyle misses is against Nashville. That's a home game. And then we go on the road back to back. Oh, Kyle's going to hate me. I did him a solid because he misses four games. But he comes back on the 22nd. and we are immediately back to back. The 23rd is the Rangers, and the 24th is the Flyers on the road. Oh, I'm a terrible father. I made his vacation like 11 days for him instead of, he thought it was only going to be a week. So he thought I was doing him a solid, which I was, because we've got some off time in between there. We played the 16th and not again to the 21st. But he flies back in the 22nd, and immediately the next 2 days back to back. I'm going to tell him that today. He's going to love that. That's beautiful. All right, everybody. Appreciate everybody joining me. When and if we hear something about Rodriguez tomorrow, I'll have some kind of video out. Like I said, I'm going to put a community post out announcing the contest. Let you guys know about that. It will be at 12, 10 and a half for Rosado and Bubba. I see that, Rosado. Rosado, man, I moved the stream for you, and then you do me like that. See, never trust kids, man. Trey, I'll ban you. Oh, this is how it is? This how it is, huh? All right, no, that's cool. That's cool. All right. Yeah, no, that's cool. You think I can't. You think I You know what? Fuck y'all. There, I said it. Rosado did it first. Okay, what are you, 12 now, Trey? Yeah, exactly. Eyes. I should start the stream at noon now. Yeah, exactly, right? Guys are biting the hand that feeds you. Jeez. And Rosado and Bubba are probably the ones that are going to recognize what the hell what what the hell the picture is. So yeah, the stream is not starting now. Jeez, right? Exactly. Great White has it right. There would be no Hall without Oates. I was actually joking with somebody about that the other day. Like all of the other bands, their lead singers were able to have solo careers. Like, and I know that pisses Daryl off. Daryl tried a few times to have a solo career, never could do it. Everybody else, man, just was able to have a solo. Everybody else left the group, had solo careers. So, all right, everybody. I'm out. Adam Oates. Oh, I remember they had the Hall and Oates. They had the Hall and Oates sub or something when Hull and Oates were playing together. Yeah. So, all right, everybody. Appreciate all the support. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, you all have a great Sunday. And I will see you at some point tomorrow. 12, 10, 12, 11, something like that.